What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video I'm going to walk you through my War Scourge on difficulty 8. It allowed me to get over 2 million points, which I find pretty easy. It was overall an easy experience. I didn't invest too hard on any characters. It was most a few isolate changes to increase their survivability, but overall I think I used a very easy approach, and I think that this video is going to help a lot of people. So we are going to take a look at which scourges I used, then we are going to take a look at the nodes, which characters I attacked first, what are the priority characters and which ones you should get rid of first. And after that, at the end of the video, we'll take a look at the gear of the characters that I used. So as always, if you like the information on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, so let's get started. And before we start, did my predictions match the strategies that I used in this run? Yes, 99% exactly the same or pretty close to that. And once again, I think this is a very easy approach, and it doesn't require a lot of investment, so I hope that this video will be extremely helpful for everyone. So let's get started and let's take a look at the scourges that I used. And of course, scourges is based on your preference. Maybe you like to play a little bit different. Some of these scourges are a little bit hard to deal with, and I'm not sure if there are any bugged scourges out there. I have no information on that. This is pretty much a legit run. So let's take a look at the scourges. So we have Stay Down, we have When It Rains, Vile Resurgence 2, we have Flight or Fight, then we have Butterfly Effect, we have Dark Rally, Weakened, Unstoppable Force, Unkillable, Pyrrhic Victory 2, Too Clever, of course, then we have Overcharged, Power Siphon 1, Gloating, Dark Resolve 3, and that's it. So I don't know if these scourges will be easy for everyone. At least I found them very approachable. And once again, I don't know if there is any scourges that are bugged or not. I don't know if there is anything with 3 points or not, but if there is, I will leave in the comments below a comment pinned with some bugged scourges or anything like that if I find it. Okay, so let's get started. Let's take a look at the first nodes where we'll require bio characters. Okay, so for the first node, I used the Gamma team with my Isolate recommendation, which is Brawn with Fortifier, Red Hulk and She-Hulk with Skirmisher, and Abomination with Striker, and the same goes for Hulk. In these specific nodes, I like to use Hulk as a striker because I want to make sure that by the end of the nodes, Hulk is somewhere near the 50%. So I wanted to make sure that I don't have like too much healing. Okay, so on the first wave of the first node, you want to stun and get rid of Spider-Woman and Phyla-Vell. Spider-Woman because she applies tons of negative effects that we don't like heal block, offense down, defense down. You don't want any of that. And Phyla-Vell not only because she removes the negative effects from her team, but also because of the scourges that we are using, the enemies are going to have death proof quite often. And if any character has death proof while Phyla-Vell is on the field, she's going to give them 50% drain. So you want to get rid of Phyla-Vell as fast as possible because of that. After that, you have some problematic characters like Sunfire and Nico Minoru. Kitty Pryde against the Gamma team is not a big deal. Kitty Pryde can be extremely problematic against the Web Warriors, but against the Gamma team they don't have any problem. Some people suggested that you could use like Squirrel Girl or Jessica Jones to remove the negative effects, but I think overall it's not very important. The Gamma team just wrecks, and She-Hulk does that job of removing the negative effects from the team, and she even throws those negative effects back to the enemies, including stun, so it's great because she can remove the stun. Okay, but speaking of stun, you want to taunt as often as possible with Hulk, so She-Hulk can remove the negative effects from the team. Otherwise, if she gets stunned, then she will not be able to transfer those negative effects, so keep that in mind. Okay, now about the Red Hulk, it takes very long to charge, but as soon as it charges, don't use his ultimate, save the ultimate for next turn. On the first for the next node, on this first node, just use his normal abilities, the special and the basic attack, and make sure he's fully charged, because like this he has 200 speed, which is the it's just the fastest character ever, and that's why you don't even have to use the ultimate. It's just unnecessary. It takes so long to charge him up that you are just better off saving it for the next node. Okay, so we are almost done here. In terms of kill order on the second wave, you want to go after Nico Minoru, Sunfire and Echo. Echo here, she does a lot of damage, so those are going to be your priority targets. Kate Bishop, she can also be annoying, but because She-Hulk is throwing the negative effects back to the enemies, it's just better to prioritize characters that do a lot of damage, like Sunfire and Echo. Okay, so that was the first node. Now we are going to take a look at the second node of the bio nodes on the War Scourge. Okay, so here we go with the same team for the second node. This time we have Red Hulk not charged up because he loses the charges at the beginning of the match, but he has full energy on the ultimate. So as soon as the match starts, you can use his ultimate, or you can use it on the second turn after you turn rewind the enemies, because there are some nasty enemies here. We have Ghost Rider, we have Mordo, we have also Sharon Carter and Shang-Chi, which are very problematic characters. Once again, you want to taunt with Hulk as fast as possible so Sharon Carter does not stun She-Hulk. Otherwise, the negative effects are going to be a problem for your team. You want to stun as soon as you can Ghost Rider, so you don't have any problem getting rid of the enemies. Even if you don't stun him, if you have the cooldown on Abomination or something like that, you can still apply offense down to the characters, and that's gonna be an easy way to deal with Ghost Rider as well, because he's going to do 50% less damage, of course. Okay, so you should go for Mordo. If you stun a Ghost Rider, go for Mordo, then go for Sharon Carter and Shang-Chi, and those are going to be your priority targets of the first wave. Now, in terms of Black Order characters, I just remember this. There is no Ebony Maw, so you don't have to worry about empowered Thanos. There will be a Thanos, but because it's not a full team, he'll never be empowered, so don't worry about that. Okay, so Ghost Rider is almost on his knees. We are going to use the ultimate now, and the ultimate persists even if the enemies disappear, of course. Supposedly it was going to have some kind of animation, but I don't think the animation is working, like many other things about Red Hulk, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the situation right now. Okay, so we have the second wave, and there was a Kestrel that we already destroyed. This team is just massive, and Brawny can steal health of the enemies, so make sure you use that ability in specific situations to increase how fast you can remove the enemies from the field. Okay, so after you deal with Kestrel, after you deal with the Black Bolt, you just have to deal with Mary Hill. You don't want her to summon the minions or anything like that. She's just going to waste your time. It's unnecessary. And you can see right here that Hulk is around 50% health, which is great because whenever we need him for the node number 5, he is going to get additional turns because of that. And this is why I'm not going to use my special ability. It's unnecessary. I don't need any more healing from him, so we are just going to move on and save him for node number 5. Okay, so that was the second bio node. As you guys saw, pretty easy with the Gamma team. You can also take hybrids between hero brawlers with Miss Marvel and Red Hulk, and also Yo-Yo, Black Bolt, and Squirrel Girl. You have many options. The Web Warriors, they also do okay, but they struggle a little bit against some of these enemies, especially Shang-Chi and Kitty Pryde and also Spider-Woman. They can be quite problematic, but overall you can use the Gamma team and you'll be fine. Okay, so now you're going to take a look at the Avenger nodes. Okay, so here we go with the first Avenger nodes, and we are going to use the Bionic Avengers with Hawkeye. And this team overall, I think it's very good, and Hawkeye is literally an exploit that you can use for node 5. Hawkeye makes that node extremely easy. I cannot explain in words how easy the node becomes with Hawkeye. And he also helps quite a lot in this node. The turn rewinds are very helpful, and also the slow with the blinds. So you want to apply ability block to Magneto, just to make sure that it doesn't apply blind to your team, and also doesn't put your characters together. That can be quite problematic as well. Then you want to get rid of Moondragon, and the reason why it's because she applies deflects and defense up for herself and other Infinity Watch allies, or even not Infinity Watch allies. If I remember correctly, she applies defense up and deflect for everyone, so she's quite problematic. She also applies this defense down, which I didn't find it a huge problem. She doesn't have a lot of damage, so it was easy to deal with that. And you want to one-shot Valkyrie as fast as possible. Valkyrie is just so problematic, but this is going to be one of those cases that you have to reset the nodes a few times, because sometimes she's going to give buffs to the Hero Asgardian allies, other times not so much. So you just have to play with the luck and deal with that. Okay, so you apply ability block to Magneto once. We are going to apply it a second time, maybe, or maybe you are just going to get rid of him. So you can apply ability block to him, or you can just kill him. That's another option as well. And there I used the basic attack for the assist of Iron Man. And now we have Cloak on the field. Now, other important thing about Valkyrie and Red Guardian is that they have fortified isolate. That means that if you are using the same Scourges that I was using, they are going to spread their buffs to everyone else. That can be quite problematic, so you want to get rid of these characters with Fortifier as fast as possible. So kill order is going to be Valkyrie, Magneto, and then you want to get rid of Dagger and Moondragon. Moondragon, she can do her ultimate once, but when she does the special, all those defense subs and deflects, they can be quite problematic, especially for the Bionic Avengers when they rely mostly on crits, so it's something that you want to avoid as much as possible. Okay, so now we have double Thor, and that's not going to be nice. We also have Heimdall, and we also have a Lady Thor, so quite problematic characters if we let them go around for a while. And the Red Guardian is still not over. Once again, because he's a protector, he's going to spread all the buffs that he has on himself for everyone, and you really don't want that. Okay, so we are going to use the ultimate from V-Vision for the second time, and we are going to use the special from Hawkeye to turn rewind all those enemies. And even that Cloak did his ultimate, we just want to get rid of him. It's still problematic, the special and the dodges and so on. So we get rid of Red Guardian and the Cloak. Heimdall is also gone, and now we have the two Thors at the same time. This is all about playing with the luck, restart it a few times. And if you want to increase your survivability, just apply like Fortified Isolate on Hawkeye, and you'll be fine. You'll not have any problem here. Overall, this team has enough sustainability and debuff removal and so on. I think it's fine. V-Vision, she has the healer Isolate, that also helps to keep the team alive. And yeah, so as you can see, it was pretty easy overall. Okay, so we are ready to go for the second Avengers node. Okay, for the second Avengers node, we are dealing with the Gamma team on the opposite side, so it's gonna be a little bit tough. And for that, we are going to use full Bionic Avengers. We already charged up. The ultimate from Hawkeye is ready for node 5, and that's why you can go with the full Bionic Avengers. Deadlock here is going to be extremely helpful. The increase in damage is just great against Abomination and Brawn. And you can get stuck here. This node is not easy at all, so be very careful with which characters you use, because if you use some character that you need for node 5 or node 10, then you're just gonna get stuck, and then you cannot revive the character, so pay attention to that. Okay, so I try to rush as fast as possible to Braun. He's not a protector, if I remember, but you just want to get rid of him as fast as possible because he keeps applying immunity to his team, and he also does the health steal that can one-shot one of your characters. Even if it's Hulkbuster, you can still one-shot it because it's a health steal, and it goes through barrier, it goes through everything. You really don't want to deal with that. Okay, so at the same time, I'm also trying to get rid of Abomination. Abomination is a character with a protector ISO weight, so is another character that is your main priority. When I did my first run, I had a lot of people telling me in the chat that they were getting stuck behind Braun and Abomination, so those are the characters that you just have to prioritize. Okay, so Braun is gone, She-Hulk is gone, the Abomination is very low as well. So you just want to get rid of him. Basic attack does multiple attacks, so that's something good to remove deflects and to remove death proofs. And the second wave of this node is fairly easy. It has these two Hulks, but they don't really matter. If you got rid of Braun, She-Hulk and Abomination, you can just blind all these Hulks and you'll be fine. So we are going to use the ultimate from V-Vision, and we are going to blind all of them. So now you have nothing to worry about. You could even extend those blinds with Iron Man, but I really like to use the interaction between Iron Man and Hulkbuster. They do these additional attacks, and Iron Man can apply defense down to the enemy, so that increases the damage from Hulkbuster with his ISO weight attack. Okay, so at this point Dr. Octopus is also gone. We just want to go like balls deep. You can try to save your cooldowns on Iron Man because you can use him later on node number 10, but overall it's not super important. Maybe it's something you should consider, but you don't have to you don't have to worry too much about it. Okay, so those were the Avenger nodes. As you guys saw, very easy with the Bionic Avengers. This is a must-have team, so overall it's a great investment to complete these nodes. Okay, so now you're going to take a look at node number 5. Okay, so now we are going to take a look at node number 5, and on node number 5 we are going to use Hulk, Thor, Lady Thor, Valkyrie and Hawkeye. You want to use exactly the positioning of the characters that I'm using. This is going to give you additional benefits because of the way we lock the characters with the taunt. Okay, so here is the exploit. Look at that. We apply blind to Omega Red, Negasonic and Silver Samurai. So because of that, the node now is extremely easy. Now, one thing that you don't want to do is taunt with Hulk on the first turn. If you taunt on the first turn, this is a mistake. The reason why this is a mistake is because the Strange Supreme on the enemy side is the one with Fortifier. So he's going to attack the character with taunt, and he's going to copy all those counters, any buffs that Hulk has, and he's going to spread all those buffs to everyone else. So you really don't want to do that, and that's why not doing the taunt with Hulk is extremely important. Okay, so after that you want to get rid of Omega Red, Negasonic, Silver Samurai and Strange Supreme. Those are your priority targets. And you saw right there that Psylocke, she sent the negative effects to us, but that's fine because at that moment we are already taunting with Hulk, and if he gets any negative effects on him, it's irrelevant because he has 1000 additional resistance, 1000% additional resistance. Okay, so now we have the second wave and the third wave, so we are going after that Wong. And we want to get rid of Madeline Pryor and the Silver Samurai as fast as possible. Now Psylocke, she's not a big deal, she already used her ultimate and she's not going to be able to recover it. So Silver Samurai now is gone, and you have to be careful with Mr. Sinister because these clones that he makes, they are quite problematic. Now we have a second Negasonic, and you want to use I think it's the special or something to apply blind to her. It's not super important overall. If you have a decent Lady Thor. If she doesn't have any negative effects on her, she can do some big damage to the enemies and just get rid of them like that. Overall, these enemies on number 5 don't have a lot of health, so you can destroy these characters fairly easy. Now, you saw my Thor attacking 2 times, and this is something very important: the ISO weight of the characters. When I made my first infographic for the Hero Asgardians, I recommended Skirmisher ISO weight for Valkyrie and also for Lady Thor. And I also recommended Striker for Thor. Now, a lot of people complained about this because it was not good enough and so on, because whatever. And here we are, 4 or 5 months after, and we had to change back to my original recommendations because yes, it is important to have that focused damage on the enemies, and it's also important to have the additional focus to apply the negative effects on the enemy. So very important to have the ISO weight that I used. Okay guys, so I'm going to apologize, but I'm going to end the video here because as you guys saw, I ran out of battery. So I'm gonna work on the first video while the tablet charges. So just before we end, let's take a look at the characters that I used, what kind of stats we are running with. And make sure you turn on notifications if you don't want to miss the next video, where you'll be doing nodes 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so the Gamma team that I use on node 1 and 2, we have right here level 80, then we have level 85 on the other characters, gear tier 16 on Hulk, Red Hulk and Abomination, and gear tier 15 on Brawn and She-Hulk. This is a must-have team for the Apocalypse and for the Horseman Saga, so I think it's going to be a good option for you to invest in. Now, we have the Bionic Avengers. We use these characters on node number 3 and number 4, and this is also a team that you need for the Death Horseman, which is the upcoming Horseman after war. And this team is also required for the tech nodes. It's not required, it's highly recommended that you use them on the tech nodes of the Doom 3 raid. So at some point in time you'll have to invest in these characters, because with the previous characters that we had in the past, it doesn't work out. So it's a great investment as well. Now the other characters, let's see if I have the team saved right here. So let's take off Black Widow and let's put Hawkeye here, and then we can take a look at the team. Okay, Hawkeye, here we go. So this is the team I used on node number 5. As you can see, nothing special about it. We have the Hulk that you also need on the bio nodes, level 85, gear tier 16. Then we have Thor at level 80, gear tier 15, Lady Thor, level 80, gear tier 15, and then we have Valkyrie, level 75, gear tier 14, and then we have Hawkeye, level 80, gear tier 15. Now, Hawkeye might be a little bit too big for most people, but if you get him to level 75 and gear tier 14, it should be fine. Just make sure that you give the ISO weight fortifier on him to make sure that he's alive and that he has the minor defense up to reduce the damage by 75%. Okay guys, so that's gonna be the video. Once again, I apologize to make this a 2-part series. Usually I make this in one shot, but as you guys can see, I'm running out of battery and I need to charge it up. So we'll make this a 2-part. Once again, stay tuned for the next video. It will be coming shortly after. And as always, if you like the information on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.